Imagine a world where mighty empires crumble, their fall gives rise to something new. This was the reality of Europe as the Roman Empire, once a symbol of power and unity, met its demise. The year 476 AD marks a pivotal moment. It signifies the fall of the Western Roman Empire, a turning point in European history. From the ashes of this once great empire, a new era emerged. Tribes from the north and east migrated across the continent. These movements reshaped the political and cultural landscape, laying the groundwork for the emergence of new kingdoms and identities. The fall of Rome created a void. This void paved the way for a period of fragmentation and transformation. The collapse of centralized Roman authority led to the rise of smaller, independent kingdoms. These kingdoms were often ruled by Germanic tribes. The Visigoths, Franks, and Lombards are prime examples. They established their own customs and laws, contributing to the diverse tapestry of cultures that would come to define Europe. During the Middle Ages, religion became a powerful force in Europe. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the Catholic Church provided stability and unity. It also offered a sense of continuity during a time of great upheaval. Monasteries became centers of learning and culture. They preserved ancient texts and promoted literacy. The Church's influence extended far beyond the spiritual realm. It played a significant role in shaping political structures, social norms, and artistic expression. The Pope, as head of the Catholic Church, held immense authority. He often crowned kings and influenced political decisions. The rise of powerful kingdoms marked a new chapter in European history. Charlemagne, crowned Holy Roman Emperor in 800 AD, sought to revive the legacy of Rome. His reign witnessed a period of relative stability and cultural revival known as the Carolingian Renaissance. However, Europe remained fragmented. Rivalries between kingdoms were common. The struggle for power between the Holy Roman Emperor and the Pope further complicated the political landscape. After the tumult of the Middle Ages, a new era dawned in Europe, bringing with it a wave of transformation that would reshape the continent. The Renaissance, meaning rebirth, was a period of intense intellectual and artistic flourishing, a time when the human spirit soared to new heights. It marked a renewed interest in classical learning and a departure from the religious dogma that had dominated the medieval period, paving the way for a more secular and human-centered worldview. From the 14th to the 17th centuries, Italy became the cradle of the Renaissance, a beacon of cultural and intellectual revival. Cities like Florence, Rome, and Venice witnessed an explosion of creativity in art, literature, science, and architecture, becoming hubs of innovation and progress. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael produced masterpieces that continued to inspire awe and wonder, their works embodying the spirit of the Renaissance. The Renaissance was not just about rediscovering the past, it was also about pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, exploring new frontiers in various fields. Scientists like Nicholas Copernicus and Galileo Galilei challenged long-held beliefs, questioning the established order and seeking to understand the natural world through observation and experimentation. They made groundbreaking discoveries that revolutionized our understanding of the universe, laying the foundations for modern science. The invention of the printing press by Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century was a pivotal moment, a technological breakthrough that would change the course of history. It democratized knowledge and facilitated the spread of Renaissance ideas throughout Europe, making information more accessible than ever before. The printing press allowed for the mass production of books, making knowledge more accessible to a wider audience and fostering a culture of learning and inquiry. This had a profound impact on education, literacy, and the dissemination of new ideas, setting the stage for the intellectual advancements that would follow in the centuries to come. Section 4. The Age of Reason, Enlightenment Ideas Take Root. The 18th century witnessed the rise of the Enlightenment, a profound intellectual and philosophical movement that emphasized reason, individualism, and human rights. This era, often referred to as the Age of Reason, saw a dramatic shift in the way people thought about the world and their place in it. Thinkers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Immanuel Kant challenged traditional authority. They questioned the long-standing doctrines and beliefs that had dominated European thought for centuries. They argued for the separation of powers, natural rights, and the importance of individual liberty. These ideas were revolutionary at the time, proposing that all individuals were entitled to certain inalienable rights simply by virtue of being human. The Enlightenment had a profound impact on political and social structures. It encouraged people to question the status quo and to seek reforms that would lead to more just and equitable societies. It inspired revolutions in America and France. These revolutions were driven by the desire to implement Enlightenment principles and to create governments that were more representative and accountable to the people. The Declaration of Independence and the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen enshrined Enlightenment ideals into law, challenging the legitimacy of absolute monarchy and paving the way for more democratic forms of government. These documents articulated the belief that governments should be based on the consent of the governed and that all individuals had inherent rights that must be protected. The Enlightenment also fostered scientific progress. It encouraged a spirit of inquiry and experimentation that led to significant advancements in various fields of knowledge. Isaac Newton's discoveries in physics and mathematics laid the foundation for modern science. His work demonstrated the power of reason and observation in uncovering the laws of nature. Advances in medicine, astronomy, and other fields transformed our understanding of the natural world. These scientific breakthroughs had profound implications for how people viewed their health, the universe, and their place within it. The Enlightenment was not without its critics. Some intellectuals and traditionalists feared that the new emphasis on reason and individualism would erode the social fabric and lead to chaos. Some argued that its emphasis on reason and individualism undermined traditional values and social order. They believed that the rapid changes brought about by Enlightenment thinking could destabilize society. Nevertheless, the ideas of the Enlightenment continue to shape our world today, influencing debates about democracy, human rights, and the role of government. The legacy of the Enlightenment is evident in the ongoing struggles for freedom, equality, and justice around the globe. Section 5. Machines and Migrants, the Industrial Revolution. The 18th century marked the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, a period of unprecedented technological advancement, particularly in Britain. The invention of new machines, such as the steam engine and the power loom, transformed the way goods were produced. Factories sprung up, and cities grew rapidly as people moved to find work. The Industrial Revolution had a profound impact on European society. It created new social classes such as the industrial working class and the wealthy factory owners. It also led to new social problems such as poverty, inequality, and pollution. The Industrial Revolution also fueled European imperialism. European powers sought new markets for their goods and raw materials for their factories. They colonized vast parts of Africa, Asia, and the Americas, exploiting their resources and people. The Industrial Revolution was a time of great progress and innovation. However, it also brought about significant social and economic challenges. The gap between the rich and the poor widened, and working conditions in factories were often harsh and dangerous. Section 6. A continent divided, Europe's world wars. The 20th century began with Europe at the brink of war. The continent was a powder keg of political tensions and military build-ups. A complex web of alliances, imperial rivalries, and rising nationalism culminated in the outbreak of World War I in 1914. These alliances meant that a conflict between two countries could quickly involve many others. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary triggered a chain reaction that plunged Europe into one of the deadliest conflicts in history. This single event set off a series of declarations of war. World War I was a global conflict, but its epicenter was Europe. The war saw unprecedented levels of destruction and loss of life. Millions of soldiers perished in the trenches of the Western Front. The conditions were horrific, with soldiers facing constant bombardment, disease, and the threat of gas attacks. New technologies, such as machine guns, poison gas, and tanks, made warfare more deadly than ever before. These innovations changed the nature of combat and led to massive casualties. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended World War I. It was intended to ensure peace but had far-reaching consequences. However, it also sowed the seeds of future conflict. The treaty's terms were seen as overly punitive by many, particularly in Germany. Germany was forced to accept blame for the war and pay heavy reparations. These reparations crippled the German economy and led to widespread suffering. The treaty's harsh terms left Germany feeling humiliated and resentful, contributing to the rise of extremist ideologies in the years that followed. This resentment was a key factor in the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. The aftermath of World War I saw the collapse of empires and the redrawing of national boundaries. The Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, Russian and German empires all fell. New countries emerged, but Europe remained deeply divided. The interwar period was marked by political instability and economic turmoil, setting the stage for yet another devastating conflict.